Good afternoon, South Africa. Good afternoon to everyone who is listening and watching. My name is Ezwell Chadehumbe. I am a Zimbabwean, currently living in South Africa. I am married to a South African woman, and together we are staying in KZN. We have been blessed with two children who are 18 years and 16 respectively. They are attending school here in KZN in town. As a Zimbabwean living in South Africa, there are certain things that I have to adhere to so that I do not find myself in trouble with the immigration, especially with regards to home affairs. So because I am married to a South African, in fact, we have been married for 18 years. This year, 2024, our marriage will be turning 19 in December. So for me to be able to live in South Africa with my wife and children, since they are the only children that I have all over the world, and the woman I'm married to, she's the only person I know I have been married to ever since I was born, I have to apply for a permit or a visa, which they normally call the spousal visa. And this visa is actually for 2 years. And after the 2 years has lapsed, you then either go and renew the permit in the case where a new passport has been issued by your country of citizen. You then have to apply for a new permit. So I have experienced a situation like that where I had to apply for a new permit because my passport had expired. So I have been getting this spousal visa after every 2 years, and it's one of the reasons why I've actually kept my old passport with me, because I've always thought that maybe in the future some records may be required to see if I have been adhering to the immigration laws of South Africa. And that's the reason why I have kept my old passport. It still has those old permits indicating that I have been abiding by the laws of South Africa. I do have my new passport, and it also has an old visa permit that expired. And it is for that reason that I'm doing this video, because when that permit expired last year, in way before, I think somewhere around, it was going to expire in October, but I had already submitted an application for renewal before the 31st of August. So up to now, I have not received any response from the Department of Home Affairs. Every time I log onto the system to check how far is my application for renewal is, I get the response that yes, of course, my application was received by the Department of Home Affairs. That is before the 1st of October last year. So I'm wondering what is going on, with regards to my application, because I do have some things that I need to do, and they are linked to that, permit being issued. Because I have got 2 children, and they are attending school at a private institution, which means that every month I have to pay school fees. I also have to pay for their transport and their food and other things that may arise. For instance, if there is a sporting event whereby they have to travel to another province, or there is just an outing, it would mean that I have to organize some money for that. That would actually be okay if everything as far as my permit is in order. But in the event that I don't have a permit and I'm waiting for it to be issued, it would mean that the banking that I'm doing business with will have to freeze my account according to FICA regulations. So once they have frozen my accounts, that means that I'm not able to do any transactions. Like if I wanted to pay for something, it will decline until such a time when I have a new permit that has been issued to me, and the permit number has been submitted to FICA. FICA will then confirm with my bank, and then its systems go. So in my situation, if I didn't have people around me who were helping me in terms of those areas where I need to pay money, I would have been accumulating debt from the school where my children are attending. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that is really the Department of Home Affairs' problem. It is never their problem until one day maybe a situation like that arise, and the chances are that it may never arise. So I am appealing to the Department of Home Affairs and to the Honorable Minister who is in charge to actually look into the situation. Some of us, if we are not here as opportunists. If I wanted to be an opportunist, years ago, I was told by, you know, one of the immigration officials that why don't you apply for a permanent residence? But I was not comfortable with having the permanent residence, because I do believe that there are some things that I would want to do in Zimbabwe. So, you know, it will create limitations for me. So that is the reason why I never wanted to apply for the permanent residence, even though it comes with some advantages when you are a permanent resident. Advantages like, applying for employment, or even if I wanted to further my education whilst I'm in South Africa, I would have done that. But I was brought up in a different way. The people that brought me up in Zimbabwe, they taught me things in a different way. Like, for instance, the idea of me coming to South Africa with better qualifications and being able to get a good job, it doesn't augur well for me, because it would look like I'm taking advantage of, the people who do not have the same qualifications locally. I have never at any given time competed with the local people when it comes to employment, because I've never worked here in South Africa. I have never found myself competing with the locals when it comes to business opportunities either. The only time that I found myself working is, when my wife is doing business. Then I would actually, help in the businesses that she is doing. Not that I will get remunerated. No. And I remember one time we had a business that we were running somewhere here in KZN, and we had a South African who was helping us in the business, and we were paying her, and I was never getting any remuneration. So I'm saying this because, not all of us are here for green pastures. Some of us, we are here because of my wife and the children. I believe that for my children to be able to do well academically, it is because there is a family structure that exists, and it provides an environment for them to excel at school. I also happen to be there most of the time when they are studying, and I assist them mostly with the subjects that they are doing. And besides that, there are other things also that I have to come in as a father to them. I was brought up in a family where there was a father and a mother. And I also wanted my children to have the same experience as they grow up. So I have been there ever since they were still in their mother's womb. I was there when they started their primary education. I was there when they were in, when they were doing their, secondary education. I have been there up to now. My daughter, who is my firstborn, she's going to be sitting for her final exams this year in November. I have been there, when she started, doing the curriculum that is offered at the school where they attend. And I am heavily involved, with everything that happens in their lives. In particular, when it comes to situations where we have to be called by the school, because every now and then, the school gives us an update of their performance. So we have to be told what is happening, and it's important to actually be involved, because then we can see how we can be able to help them at home. So that is one of the reasons why I have always been there in their lives, because I wanted to assist as a father. So I'm appealing to the Minister of Home Affairs to please consider some of us. Imagine I submitted my application last year, and it's probably 6 months now. There is nothing that has happened. And I'm waiting to see what is going to happen. Every now and then, it means even my traveling is restricted because I have to use a receipt. And it's not guaranteed that producing a receipt is going to allow the officials to let you go when they are doing these roadblocks, to control the movements of people. There are times when you get harassed, and up until when you have produced a receipt, that's when they will let you go. But the harassment, sometimes they feel like they are entitled to harass you because you are a foreigner. So at times you can't even, report such cases. Even if you report such cases, chances are that they may not even look at your case because you are a foreigner, especially if you are from Zimbabwe. So please, I'm appealing to the Minister of Home Affairs and his department. I understand that the minister, he is a very educated fellow and a professional at the same time. I'm sure him as a father, he will understand what I'm trying to convey to him. If there was any direct link for me to communicate this to him, I would have done that. But I don't have any direct link. I don't have even any connection to whatsoever organization that is here in South Africa that could help me. So I had to use this platform to communicate my message to the Department of Home Affairs to please consider my situation. Perhaps I'm not the only person in this predicament. There could be others also who are facing the same challenge. It's just that they haven't been able to come forward to actually do like what I have done. So I'm just trying to appeal to the minister. Please do something for us. Thank you.